A lot of people just look at the monthly payment and kind of compare it to what their current rent is without really considering anything else. Don't get me wrong, payment's very important, right? But sometimes it's not the most important thing, especially in the long run. What I mean is that as a renter, you're used to paying a certain amount a month for rent and utilities and not really having to worry about anything else that goes on with the property. For most renters, if something breaks, you usually just call the landlord or the management company to come fix it, and they do. This is not the case with home ownership. If you get a roof leak or your AC stops working, you have to get it repaired, regardless of the amount. These fixes and repairs can add up to tens of thousands of dollars over time. So it is very important to set aside money each month above what your mortgage is to help alleviate the stress when you have those things that need to be repaired. I would encourage you to set aside probably about $100 to $200 each month. Make sure you put that money in an account that can't be touched, separate from your checking and savings account. And only use that money for repairs on your home. So let's say you've been living in the home for 3 years and you're putting away about $200 a month and your HVAC goes out. Now the HVAC contractor goes out, takes a look at the HVAC and says, well, it needs to be completely replaced. Well, now you have $7,200 in that account and you don't have to worry about or try to figure out where that money is going to come from. The last thing you want to do is put an HVAC unit on your credit card. Look, things will break. It's just a matter of time. And if you're not prepared financially, it will be a great deal of stress on your life. So budgeting for that now will certainly help. Another thing to consider during this process is figuring out if this is the right time for you. Look, how long you stay in the house can greatly affect the return you have on it. If you're already considering moving in the next year or think that you might be relocated with your work in a year or two, it's probably not the best time to invest in a property. It is very, very unlikely to ever get your money back or to even break even on a property that you sell so quickly, especially in a market with so much uncertainty in its future. I just don't think it's worth buying with only having a short-term hold in mind for that property. Now, one exception would be if you were potentially considering to rent the property out if you moved out of state. This way you wouldn't have to sell it right away and you would be able to protect that asset. But that would really probably be the only time I would recommend buying a house when you're only going to live in the place for about a year or two.